Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP Reviews podcast. I'm one of your hosts, John Clemente. Alongside with me are two of my bestest best friend. Right to my screen left is the guy with the pink headset, CHUBAX. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm CHUBAX. Welcome to Plus 6 HP and happy to be here.
And beside him is our other brother from the West Coast, waking up at an ungodly hour. Arnie, how are you doing?
Hello there. I'm doing fine, man.
All right. And it gives us great pleasure to discuss one of the better IPs from the Star Wars universe that is dropping week on week on Disney Plus, Ahsoka. We skipped a week last week. That was on me. I was attending my cousin's wedding and I was photographing it. But I think this is an even better way to consolidate discussion on two of probably the best things that personally I've seen in a very, very long time. So, in this episode, we are discussing episodes 4 and 5 of the Ahsoka TV series on Disney Plus. And if this is your first time watching or coming onto our channel, welcome. Thank you very much for reviews. We'd like to remind everybody that not only are we on YouTube, video on demand, youtube.com/plus63hp, we are also streaming. So it'll be Saturday evenings for our reviews and reacts show at twitch.tv slash plus 63hp. But again, if you wanted to interact with us and if you missed the show, you want to get some updates, we are on Twitter or X, Facebook, and Instagram at plus 63hp is our handle. If you don't want to watch us, you can listen to us on demand as well on your favorite podcasting app of choice. We are on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all the other major podcasting apps. Uh, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we drop our reviews show. On Wednesdays, we have a D&D campaign that we're recording, putting on Twitch as well and on YouTube. And then on Thursdays, we drop our Reacts show where we react to upcoming content, trailers, videos, movies, etc. That's coming down the pipe and see how hyped we are. Our best friends RJ and CHUBAX also has a second D&D campaign because they can't have enough, and usually those drops on Fridays. So just go to our channel, youtube.com/plus63hp. You will see a bevy of episodes there almost on a daily basis. So we'd love for you to support and help us grow this community of like-minded individuals that like good content. Housekeeping done. Uh, we're gonna skip the initial reactions for episodes 4 and 5 of the Ahsoka TV series, and we're just gonna jump straight into the synopsis by Arnie so that we can discuss these awesome, awesome episodes. So, Arnie, take it away.
All right. So if you've been living under a rock the past 2 weeks, you probably missed one of the better episodes of that came out of the Disney Plus Star Wars
Hey,
franchise.
no eating
Anyways,
on the bed.
episode 4.
No, I
If you
don't like it.
remember that they're trying to hunt down
Magpagin mamaya
the
yan.
map from Morgan Elsbeth. So Ahsoka and Sabine been there's some training montage uh like of course Sabine is resuming her training, and of course they discussed if they're unable to recover the map on their own, Ahsoka suggested that they need to destroy the map, which is basically if we can't have them, it's kind of like scorched earth. If we can't have it, we must destroy it.
Yeah.
And of course, Sabine is very hesitant because she really needs or wants to get Ezra back. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of,
Her
yeah,
main quest is to uh bring back Ezra, and then
mm,
minor quest is to stop Thrawn.
yeah,
While on the on Ahsoka's side, it's the opposite. It's like stop Thrawn by any means possible, and then if they can save Ezra along the way, that'll be the goal too. So
that's a bonus. Yeah. So it's the classic needs of the many outweigh needs of the few. If you watch Star Trek, that's a very key line by Spock there. But basically, so they go hunting. They ended up in Cetos. when Dr. Hu Yang basically told them, if there's any request I have is for you guys to stick together because you both work together. So of course that didn't happen.
Of course. That's the way you
um,
say. That's why you say it.
The first, the
exactly.
first, the
But
first option
of
they
course
could
they
they
catch up with Morgan
uh,
and Hattie and
the first chance they got they split up.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so basically, Ahsoka and Sabine basically engaged Hati and Marok because the robot minions, they're no match. I mean, even for Sabine, they're no match. And what you call Doctor Hu Yang also was able to fight a good fight. He's unarmed and he was able to handle himself with the assassin droid. So, you know and even Balin knows that. So he sent Hati and Marok uh, to engage Ahsoka. So yeah, so it was Ahsoka versus Marok, and of course Sabine versus Shin, part two. Um, one of the better duels we've seen in a
Very
while.
awesome duel. Very
Uh,
awesome
Ah,
individual and combo fighting.
exactly.
I
So
love, I love, I love his movements. Si
yeah,
Bill.
like
Oh,
Ahsoka,
no, with Marok pa pala. Sorry, later.
yeah, Ahsoka, very very samurai-esque
Hmm.
versus Marok. And of course, when she was able to take him down, all the Marok theories went up in smoke, literally. So we found out that Marok was just a Night Sister magic.
A zombie. He's a
Yeah,
zombie
a
He's
maker.
a basically
zombie
smoke monster
smoke
operating a suit.
monster.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not any of your theories. So shut up. So
It's
and of
not
No, I
course,
Star
mean
Killer, not Ezra.
it's okay to have those theories. Just don't get pissed when you're wrong. That's just what
exactly.
I'm
Or just
saying.
like I had my own theory, but for me it's like well, if it doesn't happen, I mean, it doesn't happen. It is what it is. But of course, don't you could also have theories, but don't be stupid. It's not freaking Ezra, because if it's Ezra, that means Thrawn has been here all along. Come on,
Mhm.
people, think. anyways, Shin and Sabine. Of course, Sabine started with being a Mando, so was doing blasters until Shin was able to close the gap between them. So lightsabers out, and of course, as expected, Sabine had a hard time fighting Shin, and there was a point that she had to like basically do the force thingy,
That's
and
dope.
Shin was like, "Oh, you don't have the force. You fooled me." Okay, and then it turns out Sabine was just trying to use her wrist rockets.
But
If you're
was it? Was there no force, or was there
there's no
something?
force because
There, well, some people said that
There was the
she might
sound.
have gotten shoved a little bit,
There
but
was a
for
sound.
me, it's like there's no force.
well,
I
yeah,
think there was because there was a
perhaps.
sound, and then she flinched.
Yeah, because
So
the
I
thing is that
think
the
if there was
flinch,
no
yeah.
sound or if there was no flinch, but together makes me think that there was something. There was a nudge.
Maybe there's like a wind, like, like something
Yeah,
like
just
that that
like there
happened.
there was something that made her flinch and made the sound. So
Yeah.
it's
So
just
yeah,
not it's just not
so
nothing effective.
yeah, that's why Shin Hati said it. You have no power. So basically, it's kind of like the whole uh Theoden, you have no power here, or something like that. But anyways, but of course, so Sabine was able to use her wrist rockets to hit Shin. So and then basically she told Ahsoka, "Go, I can handle this one," which is of course a bad idea, but
Yeah.
okay. And Ahsoka was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
you got
I
this."
mean, it would have been quicker if they double teamed Shin and then
Mm-hmm.
they were both 100%, and then they both went and double teamed Balin. But of
Balin.
course, it's better for cinema this way. I like
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure,
I
for
give him a
sure.
pass.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then of course, Ahsoka ended up seeing Balin, and Balin was trying to basically troll Ahsoka by bringing up Anakin and bringing up her past, and then And then of course Ahsoka like that's not gonna work. So they just basically dueled, and man, oh man, samurai versus
Night.
medieval knight, and we finally
I
saw it.
love it.
It's very, I
And
mean, it's reminiscent of Vader, but a lot more
It's Qui-Gon style.
out.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's
More
Qui-Gon style,
Qui-Gon.
but also,
So
but even the move, but even the movements, the it's more of like broadsword versus samurai. Like they talked about this. Like Balin was trying to do like more of a claymore, like big giant ass sword versus a samurai, and and I also think like it's Ahsoka never had aside from Vader, she never had any more a stronger fighter against. She never fought a stronger fighter because of course there's not a lot of
It's not a
Jedi
lot of
and
Jedi, and
not a lot
this
of Sith.
basically because Filoni hasn't created him yet in any of these
Yeah,
series. So,
yeah,
like,
exactly. So, but basically, so she's now really, really like focused on how to not even just defeat Balin, but just to remove the map off the board. And of course, she tried to grab the map. Of course, the magic kind of burnt her hand, which put her in an extreme disadvantage because now she can't dual wield. She can't, she's wounded, right? And then Sabine, no, no, not really. No, 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 not yet. Shin showed up. So
which
Ahsoka
distracted
distracted Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
So she thought Sabine's dead. So Ahsoka had a little bit of emotion and anger there. So she was not only did she force choke Sabine, she also used the force to basically dump her into a rock. So a lot of dark side usage there.
Cool.
So
so anyways,
so
just a little bit of background. I think si Obi-Wan form 3,
uh-huh.
si Qui-Gon form
Soresu.
4 for
Uh-huh.
aggression. Si Balon is form 5, modified form 5 daw kasi it's his lightsaber is very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So talagang you rarely see him attack with one hand. So palaging two-handed yung grip niya sa
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Okay, so is the hilt heavy? He has too many
I
kyber crystals in
I
it.
Well,
don't know. Maybe just the
in
hilt. Yeah, probably.
in Rebels, Kanan kind of explained that it's based on the user. So it could be
Well,
heavy, it could be light. So
yeah.
and even Sabine mentioned that the dark saber was quite
The
heavy
the
for
dark
her.
saber, if you're not, if it's not jiving with you, becomes heavy. So okay, there's
Yeah,
some
yeah,
like
yeah. The the
voodoo magic
the
in there.
the the, the, the lightsaber user basically controls the weight or something like that. Go back to Rebels, people. Watch it. Basic, but yeah, but yeah, those the Form 4 and all that.
Yeah, so it's
But yeah,
similar to Anakin. Si Anakin form 5 din daw. Pero
yeah.
different versions.
Anakin is more aggressive and of course
But
flashy.
he's very flary. He's like he was
Yeah,
like no future spoilers, but in the next episode he was like doing the Anakin
He
twirl, and I'm like,
had yeah, he has
yo!
some Obi-Wan in him also. Siyempre.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
has some Soreso in him.
Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, but so of course Balin was like, well, you hurt my apprentice, I'm gonna hurt you. So he was able to overpower her, and then we
Mm.
see Sabine, who's like, okay, if you let go of her, I'll destroy this map. But of course, Balin didn't listen, so Ahsoka fell off the ledge. And of course, Sabine's now all alone, thinking that her master died. And of course, she didn't destroy the map, and Balin was able to manipulate her to go willingly.
That's a good few minutes of television because
Mm-hmm.
Balon was wailing on Ahsoka
Mm-hmm.
using his physicality because that's what he needed to beat
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka, and then sh- with uh with
Sabine.
Sabine, it's just it's not even like voodoo magic. It's just like logic, calm. Hey, we're both in the same team here.
Yeah.
We just want order. You want your friend, I want order. Let's work together.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be under my protection. And he meant it too. Like
Yeah.
when Shin wanted to kill Sabine, it's like, no, she's under our protection now.
Yep.
So like that's a cool dichotomy of how awesome Balin is, because
Yeah.
we haven't seen him before. He doesn't have a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
So in order to see how badass he is in both ways,
yeah, and
it's
he's
a good
not
3 minutes. Yeah.
and he's not bad for being bad. He
No.
is bad for a purpose. Like he is basically still, everybody's a hero in their point of view, right? So with him, yeah, I have a greater purpose.
Still don't like. I disliked what Sabine did.
Of
Well,
course. I
yeah,
mean,
of course, in the greater scheme of things, yeah. But then again, if I was in Sabine's shoes, okay,
No,
let's say I
I'm saying
destroy the map.
it makes sense. I just don't like it. I don't like
Oh
that she
yeah,
did it. I'm not
oh yeah.
criticizing the writing. I'm criticizing the decision.
Well, because Sabine is emotional. It's basically Anakin, right? Anakin would have done the same thing. Like Obi-Wan told him not to go to Tatooine to see his mom, and he went. And of course, there's the need. So Sabine, yeah, like as Doctor Hu Yang said, she would never have made it as an apprentice of any Jedi. So, and that's one example. Why, right? Because it's just a matter of all the attachments that she has. That's the attachment with Ezra.
she was told very clearly.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I mean, that's why you're right. That's why he's not a good Jedi, because he's concentrating on selfishness, or like one thing that she wants instead of like the more. But that's that we saw that coming a mile away.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And the thing is, it won't be Sabine like if she actually destroyed the map. And and writing wise, that would just be the end of the entire story, right? Anyways,
Also,
so
before we move on, just from Screen Rant, it also makes sense why Ahsoka fought with one sword. Because some people were
mhm,
asking why she didn't do two. But knowing the
mhm,
style, she saw the style immediately.
yeah,
She would have been overpowered faster if she was using
Yeah.
dual
yeah,
sabers because it's weaker. And
Yes, I
also
mean,
another
weaker
thing that
strikes.
yeah, another
Yeah,
thing that cost Ahsoka the fight though was due to the inner conflict. Diba? She has already an
hmm
inner conflict. And then Balon brought up Anakin before the match.
Anakin, yeah.
And
yeah,
then his style is also similar to Anakin, making her
yeah,
remember her fights with Vader siguro in Anakin.
yeah,
And
So it's so good.
she
Ang
did
galing.
the two-handed up, which is Anakin's style too. Like,
yeah,
in one of the earlier movies, I think it against Dooku, that
yeah,
was
Yeah,
Anakin
yeah, yeah.
after the flashy stuff. And
yeah,
when he was losing, he's like, oh, okay, aggressive now. So
yeah.
got into her head, yeah.
Exactly, and that's why it just shows you the mastery that Balin was able to achieve, and then so he got the map back, and even though Hera made it in time, it wasn't in time. There's not enough time, so the Eye of Sion was able to jump into hyperspace, almost killing Hera and Captain Teva and the squadron. We did lose two fighters there.
Two randos.
Two rounds, the good thing. It's not Carson, but anyways. And then of course they showed us that Ahsoka ended up in the world between worlds again. Watch Rebels to understand more of that. And then
I've
uh,
been listening to a lot of reviews about the world, or explanation about the world between worlds, and
mhm,
the one thing I don't I like it because it's simpler on the TV show, but
mhm,
because of how they did it this way, it's becoming super inconsistent. Like, because in Rebels, uh getting into the world between worlds is so difficult, so important, lot
yeah,
of energy, both on like Palpatine, and Ezra was able
yeah,
to pierce that veil. And then
mhm,
for this one, it's kind of a little bit,
No, no, it's
it
still
could be
saying.
in her head, it could be a real space.
yeah,
It's kind of open, because again, like, she was probably falling to her death, hypothermia, whatever.
yeah,
And then she might have imagined this, and this is inner conflict, or because of close to death, she was able to pierce that veil and get there, and then get back
yeah.
to the water. Either way,
Well,
I'm glad that they just like, what, fuck it, whatever you want, it's real Vader,
explanations.
it's real
Yeah,
Anakin, it's not real Anakin, it's a real space, it's not real space, it's imaginary, it's a hallucination, doesn't really matter. It's fucking dope.
Yeah,
It's like, it's great.
and that's why all the it's not Anakin, it's not really Anakin theories also died.
Mhm.
Because people thought, if you go back to Clone Wars, there's this story arc called the Mortis story arc. Um, so they thought that Anakin was the son. He wasn't.
Um,
But anyways, yeah. So yeah, going back to the world between worlds, the simplest explanation I could think of is the Force.
Yeah.
So that's what the Force needed to show Anakin. I mean, Ahsoka, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
It is her, like, she needed to work something out. And what she
and
needed to work something out was her
guilt.
brokenness about leaving her sensei, and then
Yeah,
her sensei becoming the most gruesome Jedi murderer in history, right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
fear of being part of that legacy. But in the end, as we'll see in the next episode, when she
Yeah,
actually faced it, it's again, I know that Anakin, that's not the real Anakin. It is her, the forces and the hers vision of interpretation of Anakin, so that
yeah,
she could deal with it,
yeah.
interact with it,
I don't
and then
know. Maybe
beat it.
Anakin was there also.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
he's been
for
dead
me
by
and
then. He's dead by then.
my interpretation of it is Anakin's Force Ghost, but it's a different Force Ghost compared to, let's say, Obi-Wan, Master Yoda, and Qui-Gon, right? Because there's always been this debate, like, well, Obi-Wan and Yoda, okay, they had training, so they became Force Ghosts, sure. Qui-Gon barely made it, and of course they kind of retconned it in Obi-Wan, right? And then, so how come Anakin was able to become Force Ghost without the training and being dark side and all that? But for me, he is the chosen one, right? So that's, for me, it's like, okay, kind of like the
Strong in
Force,
the Force. Yeah, all
strong
of the
as,
sky. If you,
yeah,
I was listening to this in the Ringer verse
yeah,
yesterday. If you really look at it, none of the Skywalkers are. There's just super strong,
yeah,
but down the line, Anakin, Luke, even Luke, Leia, and then fucking Ray.
yeah,
None of them had full training.
exactly.
It's like
So
everybody.
Hello? Hello?
So, and I'm fine
eh,
with it. I'm
yeah,
fine with it because
exactly,
either way
exactly.
works.
And the thing is too, like, hey, Anakin did bring balance to the Force. There were just way too many Jedi. There's no dark side, no something. So he brought it in balance. So he did it. But anyways, going back to the best sequences in
And then no,
basically
I
Star
think it
Wars.
was making balance because Yoda was fucking up.
Yeah, well,
The
the
Jedi
the
Council
Jedi,
was fucking up. They
it's fuck
weren't
yeah,
doing. They weren't
it's
doing.
they're
They were
uh,
lax.
I wouldn't say corrupt, but more of like, which this episode kind of showed. Okay,
They
we
become
have a war.
They became useless.
They became
Mm.
useless. They became political.
They
But
became
look at this,
lax.
when the Clone Wars happened. So instead of
Keep going.
becoming because of instead of becoming peacekeepers, they ended up becoming soldiers. And
Yeah.
they showed like little young Ahsoka here, who also the actress played Gamora, young Gamora. She was basically a child soldier,
Yeah.
and so how was the Jedi Order able to justify
Go
that?
down. Go down.
Yeah,
So
that's that. I like the idea where I think we're bleeding into the next episode now, but yeah,
now,
it was
yeah,
that's what they needed. Like,
yeah,
they when I was growing up, it was a time of peace, so we kept the peace. Now it's a time of war, so we
yeah,
become soldiers. So it's like
yeah,
it's you understand that, but like you look at how Ahsoka has transitioned to like the gray Jedi, because like again that's what was lost with the
yeah,
Sophie
Jedi
the
Order for a
Grey.
very, very long time, right?
yeah,
It was always been like super rigid, very bureaucratic, what just had
yeah,
happened. So, that's why, yeah, you're right. Maybe that's why Darth Vader came about, so that to
yeah,
shake the foundations again, rejigger everything, and then Ahsoka, and then Luke, and then Leia, and then
yeah,
eventually Rey as well, who is like,
yeah,
a blend of everything. Like, so it's I like that they, that's the reason why Filoni is Goat did in this particular series, because like he written and directed episode 5, but like even on episode 4, the way that it was set up, it's very cleanly, like you
Exactly.
put the characters in a situation that they can show in physicality what what their philosophy is all about. So
Yeah.
it's great.
And again, I mean, like Ahsoka the Grey, people are complaining, not a lot of emotion. Well, yeah, because she's so afraid to go to the dark side, and also the guilt. So
Mhm.
she's trying to be very stoic. And then after she became Ahsoka the White, she's smiling more.
Mhm.
She's
She realized,
Mhm.
like, yeah,
yeah,
she realized the thing that she was not dealing with was keeping her from, you know, being able to just do the things that
Live.
she needs to
Yeah.
do, doing it
exactly.
alone, right? That's the thing. Like
Yeah,
she's always been doing it alone, and now she
exactly.
realized, like, no, let's get Ezra back. Let's get Sabine back.
Yeah,
Right?
and the thing is, like, I mean, going back to the Lord of the Rings, the Balrog here is Anakin, right, or Darth Vader,
Mm.
and then yeah, when she was able to disarm him, they see a little bit of Sith eyes, right? Because also the
Mhm.
dark side of Ahsoka. But then she also did what Luke did, tossed the saber aside. It's like I want to live, and of course, if it is indeed Anakin, she's like, yeah, my son did the same thing.
Mhm.
Good, there's hope for you then.
Yeah.
So there's all that, right? So, and I bet you it's not the last time we'll see Anakin, at least in this series. Uh, I don't know, maybe there's going to be more flashbacks, or maybe an actual Anakin's Force Ghost will show up, and maybe you know help Ahsoka and training Sabine eventually, or even Ezra if when they recover Ezra. But yeah, but basically we also saw that Jason is Force sensitive,
Yeah.
which it makes sense because his dad Kanan Jarrus is a Jedi. So we'll see as well on how Jason's journey will go. I mean, who's going to be his master? Uh, you know, because I don't think it will have to be Ahsoka. It will have to be a different one because Jason will need a different master. Maybe I'm just hoping myself. Cal Kestis, maybe, hopefully,
And it's gonna be Ezra's gonna be back, and Ezra can take him.
or Ezra. My acceptable
He
ones would be
needs to, like he owes the dad.
that's true. So
He owes the
maybe
dad a
Ezra.
solid.
Yeah, but again, something out of left field would probably be Cal Kestis. But I'll wait for Filoni to write it, and I'll just enjoy it as we see it. But yeah, but basically, we saw the Purgle. Basically, they did the Pinocchio and right along, and yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I would rate both episodes. Even if you watch it all together, or you had to wait a week, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. So you know.
Mm. How about you, CHUBAX? Final. What are your thoughts? Things that you want to discuss further, and your
Oh,
rating?
oh yeah. I loved it. Like there were some shots here that
Hmm.
are so amazing. The Vader shots. I can't
Yep.
even just the the first scene with Anakin and Ahsoka in the side view,
Hmm.
and when they first started to fight.
Yeah.
So it was shot so well, the effects, and I love how they cheated it, because they don't have the budget for like the Clone War scene with the war. They don't have the budget to show
Yeah.
everything, but the way they
Yeah.
did it, it just mystical, made it more mystical, and it was just
Yep.
so good. And all the little touches, like I don't want to fight you, and then he said, I've heard that
I've heard that
before,
before.
right?
Which Luke, it's Luke. Yeah.
And
But yeah, I mean,
didn't
yeah.
Ahsoka say that also to Vader in the
In
Rebels?
Rebels, she said, "I won't leave you, not this time," and then he just
Oh,
said,
okay.
"Then you will die."
Okay.
So
So yeah, and yeah, I mean, I think Filoni always said that the inspiration for Ahsoka was Gandalf, right? So it just made sense.
mhm.
She went from Ahsoka the Grey to the White,
Again,
and
Ahsoka the White.
yeah. What else? Yeah, I love Balin. Makes me even more sad now that Ray Stevenson didn't get
Yeah.
to see this. Shin's still so hot, so that's that.
Well, Shin Hati, right?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, Shin continuing the trend where I find the character hotter. Like even cats like Zoro. She doesn't like Makenyu with the hair with this normal hair. He likes it as Zoro. Uh,
Well, we'll dive into that in the next one.
but yeah, we also get to see Ahsoka without the headdress or the
Yeah.
Yeah.
what do you call that?
With the hairline, weird hairline, but
When I
I like it.
first saw that, I was like, wait, did they forget something?
I mean, she
But
she was soaked
I
in
don't,
water, you know. Yeah,
yeah, but I
they
don't,
had to change it.
but I don't care. I mean, it's still not the jankiest makeup I've seen, but I was like, did they forget
I think
something?
it looked good. It looked weird
But
because
You
I
it looked
wanted
good.
it's just
like a
like
natural look, right?
and
Like you said.
imagine seeing a friend that you've been seen for 15 years with glasses and then suddenly you see him without. It's gonna look weird, you know, like a
Yeah,
little off. So, but
yeah.
yeah, the and I kept trying to think where I saw Shin Hati before. She was the she was the assassin in
Yeah,
Mila Kunis
the, s-
movie, the
the spy who dumped
Dump
me or
Me.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I haven't seen that.
yeah, she
yeah.
was she was psycho there. So yeah, I'm happy that she got this part and it did well. I love so many goosebumps moments, even with the Jason scene with the "Can't you hear it,
Uh-huh.
mom?" And the
Yeah,
sound mixing there was perfect.
Yeah, the
Everything,
sound
everything,
killer.
everything was good. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm on. I love it. 10 out
Yeah,
of
this
10.
is okay. Let me just log your 10 out of 10. But yeah,
Yeah.
these two episodes both were like, yeah, no notes. It's both. It's perfect because you have storytelling, you have narratives that is character building,
Hmm.
but you also have a lot of action on both episodes. Like in
Yeah.
episode 4, half of
Hmm.
it was action, and
Hmm.
then in episode 5, yeah, like the one third of action it was literally live action Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
You had Rex, you had Anakin. The de-aging was also, I mean, I was
I
really
loved it.
surprised
Yeah,
how
I really
great
loved
that
it.
de-aging
I
was.
mean,
But you
he's
think
not
that
that
this is
old, so it's not
And
like a
Hayden
major.
and Hayden wearing the Clone Wars armor. I mean,
Oh,
dude,
with
and the
the
hair.
let's get
red brace,
let's
even
get this
the
done.
period correct hair too was
Oh,
perfect, right? So the idea
Yeah.
of it is to you them using the volume correctly. You don't need 100,000 clones to make it look big, right?
Yeah.
It's just foggy, sandy, hazy. You just see silhouettes of the different mechs and the blasters, and every time that there's this like flash where Anakin instantly transforms to Vader
Yeah.
in the silhouette.
Yeah.
Those are the touches that you want. You don't need it to be like super clear CGI. Hide it.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more dramatic. And of course, fuck. I mean, we can't be remiss in not uh giving props to young Ahsoka,
Oh yeah.
oh.
Barbie's daughter,
Was also
and
young Gamora.
young Gamora.
Young
Like
Gamora.
she fucking she's been killing it
Awesome.
for a while now, and she was perfect casting. And it's good because she wasn't just like this kid doing lines.
Yeah.
She did the swords.
Yep.
And
Yep.
You
she
know,
also had to deliver a different two different Ahsokas. Because
yeah,
there was a
exactly.
really
Hmm.
different, even though
Young and
she
teen.
didn't look that different. From
Yeah.
her demeanor, she was different
The
from the Clone Wars to the Mandalore
I was
Ahsoka.
watching that, and then even they were saying like, yeah, even if it was like a very short scene of a little older
Hmm.
young Gamora, young Ahsoka, like, oh, they made her walk farther so that they could really see how accurate the walk was, because it was a
Hmm.
totally different walk. She was like slower, more well paced. So that was great. So that these two episodes, I think the entire series is paced wonderfully with great
Hmm.
action, great storytelling,
Hmm.
and it is one of those things where I mean personally, I hate it when you don't one season is not a full season,
Hmm.
right? It's always like a cliffhanger for season 2. I fucking
Yeah.
hate that. And this season, I'm either way it could work. If the last 3 episodes, if the next episode we see Thrawn and everything gets like
Fucked
um
up.
yeah,
Fucked
like
up.
closed up, and they get Ezra by the end of the season, I'll be happy. But
Hmm.
if they end the season, seeing Thrawn and not Ezra, I'd be happy too.
Yeah,
They can do the next
exactly.
story in the movie, or they can Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah.
Whatever that they decide, they've placed themselves in a situation where everything works. Every
Yeah.
character, the new characters work. Balon and Shin, fucking great. Filipina Morgan Elsbeth, fucking amazing. The Purgles, and even it's just like a MacGuffin. We got the map, they got the map, they went to the place. We don't have the map to the place. We need to get. It's super simple storytelling, but in the end, like you can see, even the cracks of the is it the First Republic, right? The Republic, the cracks of the
The
bureaucracy,
New Republic.
of the people not using resources in threats like this, and they just want to keep politicizing everything. All of those work. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I cannot wait for the next 3 episodes. And yeah, we're 10. We're 10s all throughout.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, I
All right.
think that's it for our Ahsoka discussions, episodes 4 and 5. Yeah, we will continue to do week on week discussions of this TV series. We'll have episode 6 next week, and hope we'll have the same cast again to talk with you. Final goodbye, Sonny.
Well, can't wait for next week, and yeah, watch it. Watch watch Rebels, watch Clone Wars to get the full experience.
CHUBAX.
Yeah, I can't wait. Go. 2 more days for
All right.
episode 6.
Yeah.
8
All right,
episodes,
that-
right? So we got 3
8
more.
episodes for this
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 more. 3 more. Perfect 3. I mean, a lot can happen in 3 episodes, and I don't know where they're going. So
Mm.
it's good. With that, thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.